Ladies and gentlemen, greetings to everyone. My name is Rashit Emini. I am from Skopje, North Macedonia. I work at Southeast European University in Tetovo, North Macedonia. It is my great honor and pleasure to be part of this great conference, which is organized by Professor Untitled and his team. It's also my great pleasure to present my research paper entitled Teaching English During Pandemic. At the very beginning, I'd like to thank Professor Untitled and his organizing team for inviting me to participate at this great conference and for providing an opportunity for me to present my research paper. I have to emphasize the fact that the impressions that I got from the 5th Saarbrücken conference in 2019, which was held on site then, the warmly welcome and the excellent organization in all aspects by Professor Untitled and his organizing team induced me to take part at the 6th Saarbrücken conference. My research paper treats educational process during pandemic in primary education, and in particular, the overall impact of shifting the teaching and learning process from on-site to online due to the pandemic, especially at the primary school area in Skopje, North Macedonia. Moreover, my research will try to reveal the viewpoints of the school director, English teachers, and their pupils in terms of shifting the teaching and learning process from on-site to online and the implications that arose from it. With regard to the research methodology, it falls under both quantitative and qualitative research. As regards the research questions, there are 4 research questions that we will try to answer by the end of this presentation. So, what is the perception of the director about the effect of the pandemic on the teaching process, and how did the school deal with the challenges? What are the perceptions of the teachers about the effect of the pandemic on the teaching process, and how did they deal with it? How English teachers are handling the unexpected, or were handling the unexpected shift to online teaching? And what are the perceptions of the pupils about the effect of the pandemic on the teaching process, and how did they deal with it? As regards the data collection methods and procedure, so I used interviews with the school director and the teachers, and as well I used 1 questionnaire for teachers and 1 for pupils. As you are witnessing yourselves nowadays, the worldwide spread of the pandemic has caused a huge turmoil in people's lives in general, and with it in particular has significantly impacted the normal functioning of educational institutions worldwide. The pandemic has caused the closure of educational institutions, and as a result has imposed a shift from traditional on-site face-to-face learning to online or distance education. The research literature that I consulted reveals the immediate actions that various countries undertook to protect their citizens from infection. In this regard, in terms of education, all countries worldwide took immediate actions such as closure of schools and shifted the teaching and learning process from on-site to online and reduced teaching hours. According to Quancel 2020, in Pockrell and Chetri 2021, Wuhan was the first place in the world to close schools and to reduce the teaching hours during the pandemic, or during the 2nd week of March 2020. After Wuhan, all countries around the world started to close the schools and to reduce teaching hours. As far as Macedonia is concerned, it closed the schools on 10th of March 2020. 2 weeks later, more precisely on 24th of March 2020, the Ministry of Education introduced the new digital learning platform to support distance education or distance learning for children who temporarily did not go to school due to COVID-19. This project was done in collaboration with UNICEF, North Macedonia. So they started to offer the imposed workable solution labeled the TV classroom and e-classroom. According to Angela Hocke, 2020, the project labeled TV classroom was a collaboration between the Ministry of Education and Science, the Bureau for the Development of Education, UNICEF, children's television producers OXO, and national broadcaster Estonian Radio and Television. Moreover, according to Hocke 2020, on 16th of March 2020, less than 1 week after schools in all sites closed, volunteer teachers were already on TV, demonstrating a whole range of activities that parents and teachers could use to ease stress, including exercise routines with classes running in all 5 languages of instruction used in North Macedonia: Macedonian, Albanian, Turkish, Serbian, and Bosnian. So the measure intended to keep pupils engaged in the teaching and learning process and kept the children relaxed just a little during a stressful time for all families. However, these measures in fact put the burden on the parents of the children, since the only control mechanism for watching those TV programs were the parents of the children, who, since the closure of the schools, had played a great role in educational system in Macedonia, of course. As regards the measures from the Ministry of Education to tackle educational issues amid pandemic, Vlado Apostolov 2020, in his publication, Schools Out, How Pandemic Derailed North Macedonia's Education, states that the pandemic has surprised North Macedonia's educational system much as an icy road would surprise a bus that was not regularly serviced. So in continuation, I will present the results from the research I did at the primary school area in Skopje. In this regard, I must thank the director of the school, Teuta Idrizi, who was willing to participate in this research by answering the interview questions and posting the links with questionnaires for her staff and students to provide the answers for me. The total number of responses was as follows: 73 students, 35 females and 38 males, school grade 6, 22 students, 7, 2 students, 8, 30 students, and 9, 19 students. As regards the result from the research that I conducted at the primary school, Liria in Skopje, North Macedonia, in this slide, I will actually reveal the findings from the interview with the school director. So the school area in Skopje at the beginning, when the pandemic emerged, was not prepared at all because the school did not even have any internet nor any electronic equipment. But for a record time, the school managed to mobilize and to do all the necessary preparations. It shifted on-site classes to online with dedicated teamwork. The school director, in collaboration with the state authorities and the school staff, organized internal trainings at which each innovation was explained thoroughly. The school had provided direct assistance to the students. The management and the teachers had set up a group on Viber, via which they had managed to keep communication running. Around 90% of the students participated in online classes. The reduction of teaching hours affected the learning outcomes. The school management, the teachers, students, parents held frequent meetings in Microsoft Teams. Overall, the pandemic had a great impact on the learning process because, according to the school director, on-site learning is irreplaceable in every aspect. As regards the findings from the interview with the English teachers, the results were as follows. So the shift from on-site to online teaching was harder from the teachers since, according to them, online teaching required much greater commitment, finding new resources, working in different programs, preparing online quizzes, online student files, and using several different programs simultaneously. It was something new to them. The biggest challenge for them was the motivation of the students to join the classes online and the internet connection as well. That could be a problem. So the students had adapted quickly and very well. The attendance in online classes was lower, and as regards the adaptation, desire for work, interest, those went well. As regards the findings from the interview with English teachers, I have some more details here to show you. So the cooperation of the teachers and the parents of the pupils communicated well at the beginning, but then it faded due to the lack of interest of the students to attend online class. The teachers had trainings continuously. The teachers used various resources from Google, worksheets, YouTube, online books, quizzes, whiteboards, presentations, etc. The participation of the students in online classes was from 70% to 90%, which is good. So they liked using videos, dialogues, pictures, etc. According to the teachers, on-site teaching is better than online teaching because the communication with students is better. As regards the teacher questionnaire, very shortly I will actually reveal only some of the main points from this, or main findings on the teacher questionnaire, or from the answers that teachers provide. So it revealed that teachers had no previous experience in teaching online, and despite the fact that they liked it, they would not prefer to continue teaching online. Instead, they would want to get back to the classroom as soon as possible. So the teachers had no problems in using Microsoft Teams. Moreover, they think that the lack of physical contact had a negative impact in the learning outcome. The teachers regularly posted videos, assignments, and other related materials. They did online quizzes. They think that English is taught better on-site than online. It's obvious that they miss the on-site teaching. From the pupil questionnaire, we can learn that students that actually teachers possess the necessary digital competencies as well as students themselves. So they had a training to use Microsoft Teams, but that was not enough for a considerable number of students. Most of the students attended online classes regularly. The students did not like online classes. Students confirmed that the teacher had done a great job during the pandemic by posting video assignments and other interactive teaching and learning materials. In conclusion, we can say that the school was not prepared to shift on-site classes to online at the beginning of the pandemic. But then, with the help of the state authorities and the cooperation of the teachers, parents, and students, things were put on rails. The school provided the necessary training and assistance to ensure smooth transition from on-site to online teaching and learning. The pandemic has caused a negative impact on the teaching and learning process, and that has hindered the attainment of the expected learning outcomes. English teachers preferred on-site teaching. English teachers had good communication with the students and their parents as well. English teachers used various teaching strategies, techniques, and used various materials from the internet. English teachers use video lessons as well, pictures, quizzes, etc. English teachers assigned homework continuously to keep their students engaged. Students had no previous experience with online classes. Most of the students had digital competencies to attend online classes without any troubles. Most of the students attended classes regularly, but they do not consider the online classes efficient. All students prefer on-site classes. They all miss the classroom and socializing with their classmates and friends. Thank you very much for your attention. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Have a good time.